black, white, red, blue, yellow, orange, green, gray, vermilion. Oh god, that last color just makes me want to puce.
As we all know, kids come in a variety of colors, but were you aware that they came in indigo? Well, that's what people like Nancy Ann Tapp claim. The idea of Indigo Children was first put forward in the late 1960s by Miss Tapp, who claimed that when she looked at certain kids, they had an indigo aura. Now, that may sound kind of crazy, but interestingly enough, Miss Tapp has the condition known as synesthesia, that thing where, you perceive music with colors, you basically have secondary information that comes with the primary. So perhaps when she was perceiving these auras, really it was just that these kids she was looking at were those kids that always smell like wet towels. Well, Nancy and her contemporaries would likely disagree with me. On their own website about indigos, they have a very long list of traits in indigo children, but it strikes me that the most primary ones are that they are clever, full of energy, have a strong sense of entitlement, prefer impulse to habit, and are apparently so naive that they will do their action in front of the police. I must stress that this is the way that was phrased on the website, which makes me wonder if every shithead the police catch pissing on the street is an indigo child. The idea of the indigo child blossomed into a whole new age movement with books, lectures, and even a very limited release motion picture, to say nothing of the numerous websites, some of which I linked to in the perfectly wonderful and horrible things section of ahandfulofminutes.com. However, as is so often the case with ideas, there are some heartless bastards out there with different interpretations of the indigo child concept. Russell Barkley, a well-educated expert on ADHD, is certainly skeptical, and that's quite understandable given the claim made by indigo child enthusiast. Child enthusiast? Man, that sounds like something else altogether. Given the claim made by indigo child supporter, Robert Todd Carroll, that indigo children diagnosed with ADHD are simply a new phase of evolution.
Hi there. Have you ever made a mistake and not realized it till just about the last minute? Probably. I know I have. In fact, right here I made a mistake. Robert Todd Carroll is not a supporter of the indigo child notion, he's a fierce critic. And yet somehow, in my mind, things got flipped around and I said supporter in every single take of what I've just interrupted. So please, Robert Todd Carroll, a critic of indigo children. However, what he has to say is still completely relevant and all hangs together. But please, Robert Todd Carroll, critic, not supporter.
Berkeley likes to point out that this New Age movement has produced no empirical evidence, and that the 17 most commonly described traits of indigo children suffer from Barnum effect. That is to say, that they could be applied to anyone because they're so vague. But then hey, I just quoted that last piece of information from the Wikipedia website on Indigo Children, and according to the For the Record section on the official Indigo Children website, the Wikipedia deck has been stacked against them. They claim that though they went on Wikipedia and did a very nice job of making sure that the article on Indigo Children was accurate, their edits were erased shortly after. We have no intention of playing the Wikipedia game, they say, sounding an awful lot like a bullied child spouting a comeback that their mother taught them. Well, I can tell you, after having browsed through a lot of their websites and had a look through one of their books, it doesn't really seem like they want to play the empirical evidence game either. Robert Todd Carroll has also said that, given the choice, who wouldn't rather believe their children are special and chosen for some high mission rather than that they have a brain disorder? And I think that sums things up nicely. Of course, parents would rather think of their children as a new evolutionary vanguard than some clever dick who's going to need extra help focusing on their homework. But that doesn't change the fact that dubbing your child an indigo child is about as useful and productive as calling them a garbage pail kid.
Hey, does anyone remember the Indigo Girls? Me neither, but Oliver tells me that would have been a hip reference about 17 years ago. Damn, that guy's older than the plastic container I forgot about in my pantry. It's allowed to vote now, and I have to give it child support. I don't know what happened. It's a legal nightmare.
Who claimed that when she looked at certain children, she could perceive an indigo aura around them. Now that may sound crazy, but curiously enough, Ms. Tapp is a synesthetic. Barkley has pointed out that, like a lot of New Age movements,
Oh my goodness, yes. Even after the credits and the bloopers, there's still more. Eventually, in a handful of minutes, is going to be... There'll be any episode. Just intro, outro, and bloopers and extras. No actual content will be part of the show. We're working towards that. Anyways, my point is, I'm just here to direct your attention to a couple of really great fans from Alabama who, they use a YouTube name just called Hobie Hos. They don't actually use their real names, probably smart. And they did a great video response. Which it's not really so much a response to any one of the episodes of the show, it's a response to a message that I try and send out to people whenever they subscribe to the YouTube channel. I mix it up a little with the message, but there's always two things in it. One is just thanks for subscribing, you know, that kind of thing. And two, I encourage people to shout about the show from a bus or a car or wherever they are. Just yell the name of the show. I assume that's like, you know, that's like Twitter, but in real life, and therefore better? Anyways, if you want to see something really funny and really fun, then by all means, please click on this, and that should take you to the video. Alright, I'll see you guys next week.